What's going on, guys? Ryan here, and today I have for you a video about jobs and the like. So let's just start off with your first job. Your first job is probably just gonna be a minimum wage, very low hours, and you're probably gonna have it in high school or right out of high school, but it's not, the likeliness of it being your only job is really low. But if you do find a job, which is gonna be your first job, and you really like it, I mean, stay. But there are opportunities of going higher in that job or getting paid more or more hours. So if you like the job, stick with it. If you don't, try to find something else, but don't quit and find something else. Find something else and then quit. Now, like I said, your first job might be when you're in high school. And for me, I never worked a day in my life while I was in high school. I didn't have a lot on my plate, but I wanted to be home and I wanted to not have to worry about working or working late and not having an opportunity to get my homework done or not to see my family or my friends. Even though I didn't really have a lot of friends and I never really hung out with them, I never wanted to say, I'm sorry, I can't, I'm working. I always wanted to have free time, and sometimes I do regret it, but I think in general, I'm glad I didn't work in high school. I do wish I tried harder in high school because it would have made it worth it not to be working. But it's whatever you want. And I would say if you have enough ability to juggle all 14,000 different things in your life and you have the time to, I would probably say go work. It's really up to you, and you might like it, you might not, and you can always quit your job and just stay with high school. But I would also say having a job while in high school allows you to pay for things, especially when you have to pay for your own gas or for a phone or insurance or whatever. Some people aren't fortunate enough to have their parents pay for their things while they're in high school. So some people do have to work when they turn 16 or 18 or whatever the case may be and pay for their things, but you don't always have to work at like a retail or fast food place. You could babysit, you can clean, you can mow the yard, that sort of thing, but those are only like temporary jobs. They're not going to be jobs that you can have long term. If you're not fortunate enough to have your parents pay for your things, you might have to get a job. And that's just kind of how things are. Now, when people think about jobs, they think about going to college and getting a high-paying job. And for me, I don't want to go to college. I don't care for college. I think it's a waste of time and money, and I just don't want to do it. Now, could I get a really good paying job going through college? Heck yeah. And there might be jobs out there that you don't have to go to college to get a good paying job, but most of the time that's kind of how it works. But to say, oh, I'm gonna go to college to be a doctor because they pay good, that's not what you should do. What you should do is go to school or find a job that you are interested in, that you want to do, or that you like doing. Don't look for a job that says we get paid this much versus this job down here, which you have right now. But to get this job, you have to go through college. I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea, but it is up to you. I would just say, go with what you want to do and that you like doing. Don't do something that you hate, even if it pays a lot. Now, when you're in college, you can have a job and it'll help pay for your bills and stuff. But it's not going to pay very well, and it's not going to give you a lot of hours, mainly because of college classes, and also just because there's a lot of people who are looking for those jobs, and they're work study. That's what it's called. But you can also get just a regular job, and if they are, I don't know, willing enough, they can work with your schedule and you can get paid more because you work more. But when you're in college, you do have other things to do, not just go to school, but go to parties, hang out with friends, study, just do stuff, adult stuff, you know? And I would also say when you do get a job, don't go above and beyond. I know it kind of sounds weird, but for me, I always did more than what I was supposed to. And it really bit me in the butt because it made me like the job a whole lot less after I started to do way more. And I felt like I was overworked and underpaid, and no one recognized what I was doing. And if someone did, they wouldn't say, "Oh, good job, you know, thank you for doing that." They would always say, "Why'd you do that? Like, you don't need to. That's not your job, blah, 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 you're working too hard," or whatever. And I'm sorry, but the stupid garbage truck has been sitting there for like 20 minutes and haven't done anything, and they're doing something now. Anyways, I have recently figured out that I just need to do my job, and if someone asks me to do something more, then I can do it, but I'm not gonna just go above and beyond for everything 24/7. It's just not worth it because you don't get paid for doing more. You're getting paid for a certain amount of work, and if you go more than that, you feel like you're overworked and underpaid, which you shouldn't feel that way. But I would say not to just do the bare minimum or do less. Do a good amount of work. Work hard, but don't be working yourself to death, sort of thing. Just do your job, do it right, so you don't have to redo it. It's just plain and simple as that. Anyways, I hope that answers some of your questions about working and getting a job. And I guess I could talk a little bit about how to get a job, and that could be a different video, but it is really easy to apply for jobs, but it's hard to get the job. So that could be another video I can touch up on. But anyways, that'll be it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to smack the like button as hard as you can. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, it'll help me a lot. And I will see you guys all next time.